Good afternoon, everyone. How the heck are we? We're kicking it old school today, doing a tech design stream rather than gaming. And I labeled it as art because technically I'm creating artistic design. Oh my god, Becca May! Wait.
Secret tunnel, secret tunnel.
Mikame says Wadulov.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah. That one's for you, Becca. How the heck are you, friend? Yes! I know I saw you yesterday, but it's always happy to see you in chat. But yes, we're going to be doing some design stuff today. I need to do this regardless if I'm streaming. That is the thing. This is something I need to work on today. While working? I feel those quotes real hard. Yes, so I actually have time off that I am taking from my day job, and I am working on another project in my off time. One of which is creating projections designs for two major productions for the Michigan Shakespeare Festival. It is the nationally recognized state Shakespeare Festival, and I'm doing projections design for the Scottish play. And if you don't know what the Scottish play is, I'm sorry, I won't say the word. You can look it up. And then I'm also doing projections design for Pericles. Two very different shows, one of which is about a prophecy turned forcefully true of a man who really wants to be king by all means necessary, and his partner, his wife, who very much knows how to make things happen if by force. So, and then Pericles is about a person who goes out on a shipping adventure, crashes, the ship gets stranded, finds the love of his life, comes home, and this, craziness ensues. Lots of vignettes and dumb shows and stuff like that. The two designs and the two stories are very different from each other. So we are going to be working on the Scottish play today. Not that it's the first show in order, but it's the one that I have the most grasp on how I'm going to tackle. So I want to tackle it first thing. So what we're going to do today, hopefully, is make a playground for us to design in, which will entail me taking the renderings of the set that we have and putting my projections on this canvas, so that way we can see it in its true form, the way it's supposed to look on the stage. So that way when I get in the space, I believe I'm doing a little bit of work tomorrow evening in the space, but my big programming day is Friday evening. Then when I get in the space, this will allow me to jump in and just adjust. Also, Becca, you resubscribed. I appreciate it so damn much. I know I jumped over that. I was just so excited you were here. But thank you so much for that resub. As you can see, anybody else who's watching, just trying to get up to 23. It doesn't have to be today, but I am trying to get up to 23 subs. That is the goal I set for myself, 23, my lucky number. So I'm always trying to set those little micro goals, those little things that I think are achievable, so that way I can just keep going on this platform of here. Though, sorry, Twitch, Kick has been looking a little attractive lately, but I like doing the math, because math. 6 months. So next, what would that be? January? Yeah. 3 years. 3 years streaming. 3 years affiliate. So technically, yeah. Oh my God. Don't let anybody tell you I'm not committed. Committed, crazy, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, absolutely insane. And I'm so happy that you were there at the beginning, Becca, and that you're still kicking around and supporting me where you can. It means a lot. So I'm not gonna cry. Wackadoodle time. Wackadoodle time. But yes, so today we are going to be creating a playground for ourselves, so that way we can do some of this design in a much better environment instead of trying to do it blindly, if you will. Yes. Oh, and you threw Minecraft Steve in there. I love it. Instead of doing it blindly and hoping that things are going to look good, we're hoping to create a canvas for stuff to be projected on as if we were in the space, so we can kind of see how this is all going to look when we're done. So yeah, without further ado, I think we will jump over and start creating this thing. The one thing that I will stress is that I am building this from scratch with you today. I haven't really started the playground yet. I have all of the content stuff in the background. I do have to create a couple things and pull some things from some stock image websites. But the hope is that I'm able to... That's not a great sign. Oh, because I got to use the ARM version. The hope is that we can create this together and see kind of how this process works. Well, it wants me to update it. I'm not going to update it right now. That's not worth it. Because right now we have two softwares that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using QLab, which is from Figure 53. Oh. Oh. That's awesome. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay, let's update this because that's got a lot of good changes in it. And again, until you're into tech, my opinion when I design is that I am totally fine with doing updates on my software. I think the hold on. Okay, cool. So yeah, I am totally fine with doing updates through the entire process of the actual design. It's just once we get into Tech Week and we're actually playing things back for people, I will never update. So the first things first, this is the Scottish Play show file, and you'll see I've created these stages. These are called stages, or video outputs. These allow me to create a specific location within the projection surface, a specific location for content to go, so it doesn't go anywhere else. And I created a bunch of these in an effort to start the process of kind of understanding where things are going to go once they start being projected. Yes. Well, right now it's just a lot of talk. Eventually we'll get to the design part. How are you, Beanie? another person who, my cup of tea, hell yeah. Another person who I have missed dearly and am very happy to see in chat. I'm doing well. We are working on projections design for 2 productions of this season's Michigan Shakespeare Festival. It is happening at the Village Theater. I believe it opens officially in 2 weeks. I think not next week. Next week is our first tech week, then the second tech week. After that second tech week, that Friday is when the Scottish play opens. And then that Saturday is when Pericles opens. Definitely go. I think they're currently running, for at least another day, they're running a promotion that you can get 20% off your tickets. So definitely check out, I believe it's the Michigan Shakespeare's Instagram. Definitely check that out if you're looking for a quick little discount on some tickets. Booyah. Promotion. So one of the things that I did in prep for all of this, and something I've been kind of doing in the background before I even jumped on stream, and this has been something I've been working on for the last couple of weeks, is just all the initial, like, get all the tools in their individual places, like all the things laid out, make sure that the drawers are clean, if you will. So that way when I start playing and I start building and I start creating, I could just pull those things all off the shelf, and I know where they're going, and I know where they're coming from, and I know where to put them back, so that way I can keep working with them. One of the big things that I'm going to try to do with this show in particular is that there are a couple shared locations, and they get put up on specific projectors and locations repeatedly. So it's no longer like it's not taking this one piece of content and throwing it in multiple places. It's just, oh, it's on the back wall. Oh, it's on the back wall. Oh, it's on the back wall. And it constantly keeps being used. So instead of creating and copying, pasting that content into every location, I'm going to create that content in one location and then just reference it. So that way I can create and adjust it in one place and have it change everywhere. It's essentially how lighting designers use palettes. So it's doing all the work up front, so that way you can make your life easier later, because you can change it all in one location and it changes everywhere. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to actually utilize that, but as we put together this show, if we see something that really catches our eye and goes, oh, that's getting used twice, well, then we'll pull it into this palette queue list, so that way we can utilize it more than once. But first things first, we will be utilizing, first of all, QLab 5 automatically adds whatever devices are currently physically plugged in into your lists, which means when I get into the theater space Thursday and I start working on stuff, the first 2 devices are going to change, because it'll be my main display on my laptop, as well as an external display that I'll have on site with me for my computer. But on the computer upstairs, the one that's actually running content, that will just have the IMAX screen, the one of these projectors, and then you'll see the TH2 GV1. That is the triple head to go virtual screen 1 and triple head to go virtual screen 3. So it's a little box. I don't have it with me, but it's a little box that allows you to plug out of one display port, one output of that computer, and allows you to split it to 3 different projectors, but the computer just thinks it's a triple wide display. And that box is smart enough to split the pixels perfectly, so that way you can create virtual displays. If I was on site and I had these things like active and ready to show, I think it'd be a little bit more easy to kind of show that off. But just know that this triple wide display is 3 1920 by 1080 displays coming out of one port, because that port can handle that many pixels. And this box is smart enough to split those pixels up, so that way each projector is getting a different piece of content. So instead of being limited to only 2 outputs on a computer, you can still have those 2 physical outputs, but one of them allows you to send to 3 projectors at a time. Amazing piece of hardware. Definitely recommend it. I've used it for so many different shows, and they finally made a updated version of the software that allows you to utilize it on modern Macs, which is amazing. So the big things that we need to worry about. Yes. One of the big things that we need to worry about is I need to create in here a dummy output that is just going to be a projection of the stage. Why that's important is that this is going to allow us to see the stage at any given time. And then when I get on site, I can send that projection of the stage up on the space again and adjust that one surface and allow me to be able to fix all the others from those adjustments. I definitely have. The biggest things that are stopping me from that is timing. Twitch, because I'm going live and I'm doing all the content a little ad lib and on time. It's easier for me to do it in a live format. I blame my theater upbringing. So it's a lot harder for me to create the content, edit the content, and then put it out to the world. That edit portion is the one that stops me. And it may just be my ADHD, but there's something about taking content that I've already done once and compartmentalizing it, condensing it, stripping it down, and putting it back out for others to see. Yeah, exactly. A chance to perform. That is a really good way to put it. But yeah, so we need to create a dummy virtual device here. And we're going to create it a Siphon device because Siphon communicates with MadMapper, which is the other software we'll talk about in a second. Communicates it really, really well. And we'll call it virtual stage. Actually, we'll call it virtual set. There we go. Oh, well, thanks. I am also in education, so that probably helps. I am in the education atmosphere. You'll see that QLab also, when you create that output device, it creates a output routing or a output route that is the same dimensions and everything of that. So that way QLab is already taking that step for you, being like, hey, we know that you have a physical device that's not associated with anything in QLab yet. Here's where you can create it. So all I'm going to do, because now this is a virtual output, something that I only want sent specific content, I'll just call it probably virtual. I'll just call it virtual set. Don't need to call it. And then nothing auto-populates here because this is where you actually send content from a queue. So the route is you create content and put it into QLab. Once that content is in QLab, it says, okay, what video outputs, what video stage do you want this sent to? Then in the background, in the cogs and the wheels and the machines of QLab, it takes that and says, okay, that is sent to these devices, which are right here. Well, sorry. It's sent to these devices, but these outputs themselves are the things that allow you to take chunks of that and send it to those devices. So if I wanted to, I have this virtual set for an output. That doesn't mean it has to go here. It can go anywhere. Like for right now, in a perfect world, I could send this to another display and fake this. But because I'm using multiple projectors and they're all coming from different angles, I unfortunately can't use a virtual, because I have a secondary display like right over here for my laptop. And unfortunately, I can't do what I want to, which is set it up there and see it. One, because again, multiple projectors and the angles won't be right. But two, which is more important at hand, is that I want you to all see it. So that's why we're going to use MadMapper, because it allows us to virtually show that off. And then last but not least, I'm going to create one video stage based off a stage with output. And I'm just going to call it virtual set. Like, no need to change anything and make anything crazy. But then that means we have all of those stages. Like, this is where when we create a video queue, that's this, or not that, sorry, IO. That's where we pick from here. That's where that goes. And then that content, or that output, gets routed to a specific output, which then goes to a specific device. These devices are all currently virtual, which is how they're labeled Siphon. So in here, I'm going to have to associate them with an actual projector or device in the system. So right now, this is a video output 1, which is just automatically created. We're going to get rid of it. We don't need it. And we're going to create 1, 2, 3, 4 new outputs. This is in stack order. So what's on the top will actually be the top content in MadMapper. Oh, I should start over. Let's go back. MadMapper. What's MadMapper? MadMapper is a projections mapping software. If you've seen anything, any of those light and projection shows that are on like the side of a building or on the floor of an ice rink, or all of these things, the projector doesn't automatically take the shape of those spaces. It has to get mapped to that space. And a software like MadMapper allows you to take something that is a rectangle, the output of that projector, and reduce that content and adjust that content to output in the direction the projector's pointed, but maybe rack it or adjust it so that way it fits the area it's supposed to hit. You map it to the space. This software is fantastic when you're doing stacked projectors. Something that I may have to do for this show, pending on a loaner projector that we're getting back soon. But it allows you to have two projectors that are pointed in the same spot, sending out the same piece of content, but perhaps the two projectors aren't perfectly lined up in the real world, so you have to take this and adjust them so that way they match in the real world. And then you can send the same content. Instead of sending the content twice, you send it once and let MadMapper adjust the output of those projectors so that way they match up perfectly. So that is a very loose breakdown. MadMapper does a lot of other things. It does some line tracing, some masking, and a bunch of other things, but what we're using it for is legitimately just a way for us to see what we're creating as we create it. So the very bottom is going to be the virtual set for sure, because we want everything else to project on top of it. And then we just go over here, do that, and now it's published to this. And then we'll probably do just layering. It doesn't really matter from here. But given the way we're using things, I think best laid plans is to have the main projector in the back of the house be the next layer. So that will be the Crimson WU32. Then we'll just go house left to house right. So this will be the DHD. I cannot remember. DHD 1075. GS, and I'll just do virtual 1 because I don't want to type everything. And we'll copy that, paste that here, and call this virtual 3. So now virtual 1, virtual 3, all is laid out. And right now they're all stacked on top of each other, which is not what we want, but it's going to work for right now for us to get started. These right here in particular are not going to matter for us right now. They will eventually. Or not this one, sorry. This one, the actual maps. These are going to allow us to do a little bit of mapping as necessary. But in particular, we just need this. We just need these siphon devices to route to these. Oh, wait. Sorry. We need to create the individual maps first. And these are just going to be full screen maps that route to these directly. Because right now you can't, that's why this didn't link properly. You can't link a siphon output to an output. It has to go to an input, which then goes to an output. I know it's a little confusing, but picture it, since it is a siphon, picture it as if QLab is putting a virtual display out into my computer. It's just putting it into the computer somewhere. MadMapper sees it and goes, okay, I need to put this somewhere, but I can't take an output and an output and have them communicate. I need the output to go to an input, just like a connector on a computer, that this microphone connects output of its cable, runs down the cable, that's the siphon route, and then inputs into my interface. That interface then outputs to my computer over a cable, and then my computer can take it wherever. We're doing all virtual, so the computer outputting is just going to be putting it on a display that we can see on the screen. But I could very well take these and route them to actual physical projectors or video screens out in the world. I'm just keeping it virtual because there's no real reason for me to get out a bunch of projectors to test all this. It doesn't make much sense. So we're going to go in here and we're going to create 4 of these that are just going to be the exact same things we did before. So we have, I'm just going to call this house left. And I'm going to change the proportions of it. Why are all of these 1024 by 768? That doesn't make any sense. You see that, right? You see how the width, it doesn't match this? Why is that? Well, let's do this. Let's go grab the content that I'm looking for. So that would be Google Drive, design, projects. Oh, no, productions, MSF. Why isn't that straight on? That upsets me. Well, I guess it is straight on. Never mind. We can use it. So we're going to take this and throw it into there. Delete this other one. Also, I'm going to turn off this setting because for some reason it's always on. I need to change that. So this is going to get sent to virtual set. Geometry. Look at that. Fill stage, top layer. It is a 16 by 9 image. Beautiful. Now, I will say, what we need is going to be a little bit different because the projector doesn't hit the sidewalls, I don't think. I think we need it to expand a little bit like that. But we'll see. I'm not sure exactly but we'll start here. But now that this is routed to the proper output and it has some content, I can actually hit go with it. And in theory, once we create let's start with the virtual set, and we'll actually grab this instead. Hey, look at that. It actually did what we needed it to. And because the content's actually sending now, it's sending at the proper DPI, which is fantastic. We are going to have to change the DPI of the actual map, because right now it's set to 1440. That's not right. There we go. Okay. So I just need to expand it. We'll expand this out to the corners so that way everything is copacetic. So if we go back to this projector output, hey, look, there's the set. Exactly where it's supposed to be. So this will allow us to do a handful of things. One thing in particular is it will allow us to map out these arches in QLab and then mask things out. We're probably not going to do any projections lower than this line right here. We may do some in the middle when the cauldron gets put out and various other things, when ghosts appear. But overall, the hope is that we don't have to. Is that most of our projections are going to be up here, and we'll do some projections up top for certain time of day when we're out in the woods and location setting. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So now that we got the virtual set, let's create the others. And since I already did all the work with this, I'll just create the other spaces. And you're going to see them all go black because they don't actually exist quite yet. But they will momentarily. So now that we got all that, I'm going to actually get rid of this side of the screen and just use this one until we're ready for more work. But now that we got that there, we're going to do copy and paste this. Get rid of that number. And I'm going to do virtual set, and we're going to call this booth, this house left, and this house right, and we're going to match them up with their individual projectors. So we're going to do, yeah, you see how it says PJ? We're going to do PJ booth, PJ house left, and PJ house right. So now when I hit go on all this content, it should match up now. So we'll take out all these. So that's house right, house left, booth, virtual set. And all of them should be paired up with their individual projections. So you'll see that the content exists here regardless of where the set is. Internal loop back. So yes, what we need to do, because the virtual set is going to stay center. The booth one, the crimson, yeah, this one is also going to go there because in theory that's what we're mapping to. But then these ones, lock those two. The V1 Oh, I don't need this anymore. I'm not creating any scenes. These two are the ones that are going to get the most adjustment done to them. Because they are pointed in opposite directions and crossing the stage. I am going to have to make some... why isn't it letting me... Can I not do perspective? Man, it's been a minute since I've had to touch this stuff. Oh, this scene. Okay. So I have a feeling that I have these two outputs that physically exist in the space, but I'm going to have to map these so that way they actually do what they're supposed to do. So these two are locked, but house left, yeah, that's what I need to do. Is that I think I need to go in here and do this, because this is house left, so it's there, and then I think it goes here and here. That feels wrong, though. How did I do this? Because it's at a pretty sharp angle. So this would be smaller for sure. I think it's something more like that. That looks right. And then this would be the opposite. So it'd be here, 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 and there. Something like that. Yeah, so now it's all warped, but it's accurate now. So that way when I do any mapping and stuff, it should look appropriate. So again, this stuff is all very loose just so that way I can start working. So we'll get rid of... yeah, there's a lot of this stuff that we don't need on the screen anymore. Oh, 1 second, my friends. I will be right back. That reminds me, friends. I have a DoorDash order that's coming. It should be here within like 15 minutes. So be warned that I may have to jump off and do that. Anyway, so I kind of want to not have all of this stuff. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. I guess this is just going to be on the screen like this. I wanted this menu to go away. Well, one more moment. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back again. I don't think I can get rid of this stuff, so I think we get to see this as is. Oh well. So what I think we'll do, just for simplicity's sake, is because this is the one I really don't want. I don't know why I can't get rid of it. I just want it to go away. Okay. Anyway, so next thing's next. We're gonna put this over here so that way we can see it underneath what we're doing over here. I'm gonna hide that side panel because it doesn't matter. So from here we can actually go in and adjust our stages. So if I go in here, because this is just the full size projector stuff. So those are going to be outputted full surface, so we don't need to touch those. But some of these others we will, so that way the content lines up properly. So these ones, again, we don't need to touch, but when it comes to like Psych, that one will just be the center projector, so we won't have to really touch much of it, but we will have to adjust the resolution because the projector itself might be 1920 by 1080, but the spot that this is going is right there, which means we don't need all that. We don't need all those pixels. We can condense down. We can do a little bit of a crop, if you will. But one thing I do want to show is that if I go in here to PJ Booth and hit edit, it's just, again, PJ Booth. It is big. It is the whole surface. And I can click grid, and you'll see it pops up underneath here as a grid. And if I go even further and go into warping, and I can just set this back, you can see it adjust in the background, just like it would in real time, in real space, which super, super cool. Also, that was weird. That must be an addition. That makes me happy, though. That if I click grid, it says region A in the corners. That's super nice. So, if we're looking at this, like if we go in here, first of all, or no, sorry, let's get rid of this and just go to the booth and go back to this grid. We can come in here and see that the content, the actual, let's unlock these. We'll just lock the movement, but I want to bring down the opacity a little bit. Excuse me, why aren't you letting me adjust the opacity? That's interesting. Oh, background. No, I want the actual... Can I go in here and do it? Yes, I can go in here and do it. So let's... I locked them all because I didn't want them moving, but now I need to touch them. There we go. So if we look at this, I can see, if I lower the content even more, what we're looking at for the actual width is around here to here. So that would be probably to one... Let's call it 128 just to be safe. Oh, so this is laid out weird. So that's 128 right there. So this is actually, what is this, 32, 64. Yeah, so 32. So that would be, if this is 128, you'd be adding on 64, so 192. So 192, look at my face, unlock my phone. 192 in this direction, and we go all the way up to 332, 64. So 384 plus 64 would be 448. Yeah, 448. So 448 plus 448 plus 192. It's 640. Okay, so 640 by oh no, Dustin. How are you going to do this? Oh, wait, no, that'll work. Yeah, so if I stop this, go back in, edit, stop the grid. I need the psych. Oh, and it's not linked to anything. Okay, so psych is going to go to PJ Booth, grid. Awesome. Okay, so here's where I can make some adjustments. So instead of 1920 by 1080, we know it's going to be 640 wide. And then we'll just start there. Where is it? Okay, what's happening? 640. Okay, we'll start there then. Grid. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Edit. Grid. Oh, there it is. Why is it so small? Um, okay. I am having issues with this. Okay, let's delete that. So the actual size of this stage. Hey, my stuff got dropped off, which means I need to go away one more time, friends. I am so sorry. I'll be right back. Enjoy the music. And yeah, I'll be back momentarily. I just got to grab stuff from the porch, throw it in the fridge, and I'll be right back in. Welcome back. Okay, so how did I do this before? So I think this is what needs to shrink. But why does it shrink it over there? That doesn't make any sense to me. You see how it is over there? And if I make this something like that, it's way down there for some reason. Maybe I need to refresh QLab. Okay, virtual set's working. If I go back into video, psych, grid, it's still down there. Why is that? So this is... Yeah, that's so weird. Okay, let's just create a region first. So if I do PJ Booth, grid, okay. And then if I make this, what was it, 640 by 400. Excellent. Not auto blend because I don't want that to happen. And I put it center, throw on the grid. Okay, something's not working right. Because this is the device that's linked with this, yeah, Crimson WG32. Output routing PJ Booth. Yeah, the guides are correct. And if I do monitor, grids don't show up in the monitor. So if I throw this in the corner, it's accurate. That's where it belongs. And then if I try to move it, this isn't working the way it's supposed to. And so it snaps it down there. Crap. Okay. See, this is why I play. Okay, now I remember. Dustin. Okay, so the actual content needs to be this size. So that's 640 by 360. And then this needs to be 640 by 360. It needs to be down there. And then 640, 360. Boom. Okay, so that's correct. Then in the warping, I can actually go in here, size on stage. I can go in here and actually put it where it belongs. There we go. So yeah, so now the cycle will be roughly right there, which is where I want it to be. I do think I want to make these 50% instead of 25. Because then they'll layer on top of each other a little bit better as I do this. Okay, so psych is correct now. That's what psych is going to look like. Cauldron. Honestly, we could probably do the exact same size. The cauldron will be roughly right there, so that'll be perfect. The stage. That's a great question. I could probably do 720p, which would be 1280. And just center it. So that one's probably fine. Psych is fine. Portal all. This is where things are going to get complicated. Because it uses all of the projectors. So we'll probably start with the other portals first. So we're going to do downstage right. Which will be the booth. And it will most likely be... it looks like, honestly, only 128 plus another 32, so 160. 160. Really? Just 160? Let's call it... $165 by 720. I'm going to warping. Make that a little bit bigger. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do much down here, so part of me thinks I should crop that to 360. So it's above it. So instead of 720, instead of 360, maybe we do 400. And reset the grid. Size on stage. Pull that back up. It can go even bigger. So let's go 480. Boom. Size on stage. Oh, that can go even bigger. 540. Why doesn't that look the same? That's why. Okay, so I made all those changes and they're wrong. So we'll go back to 480. We'll turn grid. Size on stage. It's even a little bit too tall still. 440. Boom. Grid. Size on stage. And then this should be perfect. Yep. Awesome. So that's there. So it's 165 by 440. Honestly, we could probably even add another region. Because I think we can resize this to a bit wider. 165. So that'd be 320, 330. Let's call it 360 by 440. Boop. Boop, boop. Size on stage. So we'll keep this one at 165 because that did work for us. And get rid of the auto blending because that stuff is whack. And then we're going to make this one the little corner wedge. So we'll want it to be 165, 170. Come on. Give me more room. Okay, where are we? Oh, why is the stage still on? Edit. Turn off that grid. Boom. Perfect. Done. So we have, and this needs to be way taller. Probably 300. Size on stage. Why am I making this harder on myself? Let's do... I made it 440 wide. How big did I make that? 170. Uh, 440, which would be 200, 220. Right? There we go. We'll call this 220 as well. Make life easier on us. How did I screw that up? Oh, 180. Dustin, you're... Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this one goes... Let's make that a little bigger. Okay, so this is roughly where this portal is going to be, which means we can double up the look and feel of that. And of course, this is if everything is as we think it is in the space. Okay, so now we can just mimic all of these dimensions for the other side. So first of all, it is going to be, what was it, 440 by... Nope. That's not right. 360 by 440. Okay, and then we're going to create two regions from the booth. The first region will be 180 by 440. No blend. And no blend. Because in theory, these will just match right up against each other and we won't have to worry because it's all coming out of the same projector. Then this one is going to be 180 by 300. We brag that up there. Actually, we need to flip these. And then in the warp, size on stage, drag this out. This is done. We don't need to worry about that anymore. So we can turn on these grids and be able to throw this up here. And then this. Right. There. So it's a little overkill, but it means that I can create content that roughly matches these areas, and then I can adjust in space when we get there. Cool. So I can turn grid, close, and open that back up, and grid. Awesome. So those two are done. Portal all, I have a feeling I'm going to have to be very particular on and might have to do in space, unfortunately. So we won't worry about that. And then there's all the other portals, which I can do very limited amount of. Should have got myself a snack while I was up. A reminder, friends, we do have lights commands and sounds commands. While I'm doing all this. And also you'll see in the title of my stream, my portfolio, which is the actual professional portfolio of all my design work, if you're interested in checking that out. I haven't saved in a while. Save. Okay. It's actually okay. I think I screwed something up with HiDoc. Why won't it get bigger? Can I split this way? I can. But I want this screen to go away. I don't need inputs anymore. I just want the preview. Um, uh, um, hmm. Okay, this does not make sense. But why I can't make this any bigger? If I line that up there, bring this over here, and zoom that back out. Great. Great. That'll work. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So let's bring out the script. So this is another great piece of software. It is called The Cue List. It is app.thecuelist.com. Fantastic piece of software by Josh Epstein. Actually worked with him a little bit. And it is a place where you can put in your cues into the cue list and export it as a CSV file and do a bunch of updates and adjustments, as well as print it with all these cues as side panel cues. We got bookmarks for everything that happens in the show. It's very, very nice that I'm able to have that. I also, for those who care, I'm getting sleepy. I created a Stream Deck button set for the cue list. It allows me to, if we go and put this here, this doesn't need to be that wide. I got the cue view, list view, bookmarks, new work note, search, dark mode, and then various tools. We got the text tool, which is right there. Highlight tool. I should swap these. Highlight tool, line tool, the stamp tool. I do not have the count tool because I do not use it. It could be useful at some point, but for me, it currently isn't, so I don't use it. But this all allows you to utilize the cue list with the hotkeys that exist. So if you go in here and I hit list view, cue view, bookmarks, search brings you up there, which I don't need right now. Work notes, dark mode, light mode, and then the various tools. You'll see it shift from text, highlight, line, square stamp, circle stamp, triangle stamp, hex stamp. And then, I also have navigation, which is the little dial. It allows me to shift between pages, as well as tap it and bring up the bookmarks, because yes, the bookmark button is right there, but if I'm already looking for some specific page, it can be useful to have that, as well as size. This is actually an adjustment to Chrome's text size, and then I can just go back to normal. But it's super, super helpful and allows me to navigate my script from my Stream Deck. So, something I will be passing on to Josh, so that way he has something that he can tell people is usable with his software. So yeah. I also have a QLab one for video. So it allows me to, like, if I go into virtual set and into geometry, I can change the opacity. Correction, I'm supposed to be able to change the opacity. What's happening here? Oh, have I not turned on? There we go. So I'm changing the layers, and I can hit the button to bring it back to the top, change opacity with the dial. Let's bring that back up. You can't really, again, see this stuff happening. You just have to trust that it is. And it happens regardless of what page I'm on. I can translate X and Y. I could do rotation. I could do X rotation, Y rotation. Why isn't that working? I don't know. Crop. I can do that. Actually, it doesn't look like any of those scales working. Yeah. I don't want scale to get really fucked up. But yeah, I got that set up for QLab. I haven't done it for audio and lights, fades. I haven't done any of that stuff yet. I do have the new cue button, so it allows you to add a new cue to your cue list very quickly. And it's very, very simple. Like all it does, like if I go to, like if I'm in here, I can just hit group and it creates a group cue. Hit video, creates a video cue right there. But yeah, very quick, very simple, very easy. I'm a fan. So I'm actually going to take this script and put it up on my other screen so that way I just got a better view of it. And what we're going to try to do... Oh, my stomach just did a weird shift, friends. I'll be right back. Hey, yo. Okay, so let's finish some of this mapping. I'm also kind of confused about why it's not letting me uh there we go. That's interesting. That line back up. Boom. Okay, cool. So Portal All is probably going to have to be something I do on site. These other ones are going to be oh, my D20's freaking out. Oh no. D20 is going to have to be a stream soon. Get that thing all fixed up. Probably a Sunday morning. Okay, so these ones are going to be from the side projectors. And my hope is that they're going to be roughly the same size as their friends, which were 360, 440. And then it'll be house right. We'll do something similar. Can I duplicate this? I can't. I hate that it auto blends. It's one of my least favorite things. Okay, so we got that all lined up. So now it's just a matter of doing doot. So we'll get this one put over here. You'll notice that it's warped to the projector dimensions. So that'll be something we definitely have to think about later, but not necessarily right now. And again, I'm going to roughly snap this stuff just so that way it's one less thing we have to worry about. So, funny story about this. Points snap, but the sides don't for some reason. It's like I can get this all lined up and be really happy with it just for it not to be perfectly lined up because it won't let the sides snap. Oh, so I think this is way too far. Yeah. Needs to be closer to that. Again, this is just rough. So these ones, as much as I'd love to copy and paste their info, it's not worth it. Like, we'll keep them up here until we're done with the other side. But, yeah, it's not worth it. So we house left and house left. So this is 180 by 440. No blend. Come on. Okay. Turn off auto blend here. Get rid of that. And this is 180 as well, but this time is 300. And this time we have to flip these. We go into warping, size on stage. And we grab this friend. And this is going to be the fun part because it's all warped down here at this point. So we'll get it roughly where it belongs and stretch it out so that way it roughly matches the other side. I can already tell that we're going to have some super fun times in space with all this stuff. Yeah, we will figure it out though. Oh, that looks funky, but okay. That's the other part about this that I have to worry about. So we want since we'll want this. Let's go to the output routing. Okay, it's not from there. It's definitely these. Okay, so the frontmost thing on here that we want to take over everything will be the stage. Cauldron will want to be behind that. Psych will be all the way behind. Let's not worry about it right now because we got to do the rest. So portal all will be top layer. This will be one step lower. Mid stage will be 2 steps. And upstage will be 3 steps. And psych will be all the way in the back, 996. So stage and portal are on top. Cauldron is at the same level as... Actually, it should probably be the same level as mid-stage because I think that's where it exists. All these need to be top. virtual set needs to be bottom. I need to check all of these boxes. I wish it did it by default, but I understand why it doesn't. Because it doesn't want to clog up RAM unless it absolutely has to. Again, I get it. I don't really care about these, but I'm going to check the boxes anyway. Yeah, that was something before that video used to be for QLab, is that each surface could be a siphon, which means you'd have so much siphon data coming through. And it was so hard to monitor that content because of how much info was being sent at once. That has drastically changed, though. So, yeah. Anyway, let's do these two friends. So we already know this is going to be 360 by 440. We create, this is upstage, right? So 2. Get rid of their auto blending. This will be 180 by 440. And this will be 180 by 300. And this will go here. Then we go into warping. See, a lot of this starts to become super repetitive. It's just inherently how this process works, is that once you get the stuff down for one thing, it's just doing it again for everything else. So this will line up about right there. This one will do the same. So snap that there. Scooch that in. Drop that down. That 2. Yeah, that needs to go even further in. There we go. Snap. Pull down. Yeah, this stuff is ever adjusting and tweaking to get it right. So we just have a good starting point and we go from there. So there's upstage right. Finally, upstage left, which will be 360, 440. And then 2 from the house left projector. Undo auto 180, 440, 180, 300. Warping. So we want this one, once the grids are on, this one to go over here to the top of that, and then snap all the way down to the top of the door. We'll do the same thing with this one. We almost don't need these for the upstage ones. Almost. Because of the inherent nature of the way things are shaped back here. But I do want to have them as we build stuff because I'm going to feel real bummed if I need them and they don't exist. Okay, cool. So we can get rid of all those grids. Get rid of those grids. So we got, this will basically be an amalgamation of all of these, but I just don't have the patience right now. So again, it'll be something we have to do in space, so I'm just going to do one of those. So I know I have to touch it. Cool. So now that that's the case, I can actually bring in some content, which is fun. So if I go into Mackers, projections, symbols. Can bring in the symbol, send it to, say, portal upstage right, custom, make it smaller. I'm definitely going to have to throw a color. I'm going to bring all these opacities back up. Because I'm done mapping. But now if you look over on the side, I have this content that I can throw on this. But I am going to have to change the color because it is not great. Oh, not a I need video effect, not a blend mode. The one we need is color sepia monochrome. Color white. Oh, that should have worked. Why didn't it work? I guess maybe we just need to make these all white. Can I do that in preview? Probably. Wouldn't that be great? Tools, adjust color. I can't. Okay, cool. For changes. So we'll go into Photoshop, turn them all white, and just re-export them as white. Black. I don't care about this. paganish symbols. Where? Let's deselect all the folders and see if I can actually do. Okay, I can't. So we'll just do the first one. Color overlay. White. Okay, okay. And then copy layer style. Paste layer style. There we go. File. Export. Layers to files. Okay, let's oh. I can do, oh, that's good to know. Color overlay white. Perfect. So I can actually add it to the folder itself rather than the individual pieces. So that's awesome. Copy layer style. Paste layer style. Beautiful. File. Export. Layers to files. PNG. Visible layers only. Browse. Macros. Projections. Symbols. New folder. PNG. White. Let's see if it works. Oh, nope. It is definitely not going to work. I know exactly why it's not going to work. Damn. Okay. We're going to go all the way down to here. Can I make them all visible at once? I guess I gotta just do it one by one. Not a huge deal. Okay. So, file. Did I create a... I didn't. MSF, Macros, projections, symbols, PNG white. Error. Wait, let me try this one more time. Quick export as PNG. Did I close? I did close the Finder window. Why did you do that? Design, productions, MSF. It worked. Awesome. Okay. That's how I do it, apparently. Save that, close that. So now we switch this out for that. And in theory now, there we go. I can throw it anywhere on this back wall, or I can go in here, throw it on a different one. I could throw it on the psych. Back here. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's gonna work. I've been streaming for 2 hours already. I'm half tempted to switch things up and play a game for a minute. Oh. But yeah, now that I have it set up, I can actually go into this queue and use my Stream Deck. Like dial in specifically where I want it to be, which is super nice. Does rotate work? Yeah, rotate still doesn't work for some reason. Scale does, which is nice. I can lock and unlock scale, which is nice. I can go in here and stretch and squoosh. Awesome. Cool. Now that that stuff's set up, it is warm in here. Also, I ordered my lunch super early today. Probably could have waited. Oh well. Pardon me. Okay. So I need a fight pulse. Okay, so let's do this. Utility. New list. Projections queues. Testing. Okay, so that's another thing that I almost forgot to do, is that we are going to go in here and export. Let's do the PJs. Export the grids for the show. Because it'll allow us to do full testing on things. So when we're eventually in the space and throwing stuff up, instead of going into this screen and grabbing the grids, I can actually just hit go on a cue and adjust from there, which is awesome. At least I think it is. I wish there would... Actually, wait a second. Export. Damn. I was so hopeful there for a second. Export grid. Edit. Export grid. Cool. So now I can go in here and create... so get rid of this. I can create a... a testing loop for my projectors. So I can create a group queue that is a playlist. And I can do crossfade each by 3. And then just run through the whole thing. And I'll make them each 5 seconds long. That doesn't work. So we'll want them to be 10 seconds long. And we'll want this to be a 2-second fade. And we'll want to change all these to their proper grids now. This is PJ house left, house right, PJ booth. And we're going to want all of these to be fill stage and fit. And then that way we can hit go on this, PJ house right. And then 7 seconds will go by, or 8 seconds, it'll fade to PJ house left. PJ booth. Cool. And then we'll want to create another one just like that, but with the stages. So we'll make that a playlist. 2-second fade. And then we'll want one. I don't remember what stages I have. So it is portal all. Portal GSR. Probably hide this for now. Portal GSL. Portal mid stage right, and we're going to copy this so it makes our lives easier. Mid stage left. Upstage right. And finally, upstage left. And then we're going to need psych stage cauldron. Psych stage cauldron. Right? Is that all of them? That's all of them. Okay, so then we'll go into Finder and we will link all of these. Cauldron. Psych. Stage. Portal. Portal. MSL. MSR. Upstage. Right? I don't know if that's right, so we're going to relink it. And we're going to pair all of these. So this one is downstage right, downstage left, mid-stage right, mid-stage left, upstage right, upstage left, psych, stage, and finally cauldron. So this one currently doesn't have a map for it because I think I'm definitely going to have to do it in the space, but it'll just skip over it for now. Oh, I gotta add times to all these. And I think 10 seconds is too long. So I think I'm actually going to make them 8 seconds. Why can't I? That's interesting. Oh, I need to give them... Oh, it was that one's fault. Dang it. Okay. It's always that one's fault. Okay. So now I should be able to throw this back up and do the projectors, which will go a little bit quicker this time. Awesome. And then we'll hit go on this. It'll skip the first one and it'll do Portal DSR. Then Portal DSL. Awesome. Eventually I'll want to add a mask to that. But for right now, this is okay. Psych. Perfect. Stage. Excellent. Cauldron. Excellent. And that's it. Excellent. Save. So we got our testing queue list done. Oh no. All these are supposed to be... These are supposed to be on this list. Projector. Test. Play. Auto. Stages, test, auto. And then I want to this is one of those situations where I can probably, as long as I don't do crossfades. No, I think I need to copy and paste. I need to turn this into start first and enter. And I need all of these to have no duration. And I need this to be triggers, fade and stop peers over 1 second. No fade and stop, so that way you can layer them. Projectors, stages. I need this group to be a start first, no durations. So that way you can hit go and layer them on top of each other, which is what you want. Cool. And then stages, we want to be able to layer them. That's not right. So DSR 999, MSR 998. So why is it on top? Why? That doesn't make any sense, because that one worked. But those didn't. So portal all should be on top, which is correct. Portal 999. 999, perfect. And these should be 998. 998. Hello, Chandler. 997. Okay, why isn't it layering properly then? Yeah, that's layering on top of that too. Save and close, shall we? Why is that happening? Oh, that's why. Because in here, it's not layered that way. That's why. Okay, I get it now. Okay, that's just my bad. Okay, I'm going to take another quick break, friends. I will be right back. Okay. Oh, Night Miracle! I missed you. I'm so sorry, but thank you for the lurk. I hope you come back sometime soon and we can chat. You legitimately came into the chat right after I took my quick little break. I've been streaming for over 2 hours, so I wanted to just take a quick little break for myself. I hope you're well. Okay, so we got our testing units all built. I'm feeling pretty good about them. And hopefully they're relatively accurate. I guess we'll see. Yeah, and that's really the other point of this is that I technically could layer these all properly and do individual surfaces, like individual quads for each one of these and do it that way. But I don't think it's worth it. Like, I just need to see rough estimates. I need to see rough adjustments. I am wondering, though, if it is worth it for me to try to do a rough version of the PJ All, or the Portal All. Because if I go into here and I edit this one, because I know it's going to take up, it's going to use all the surfaces. We are going to delete this, though. We are going to use this big thing, the whole surface, but we're just going to use a smaller portion of it so that way I can put stuff wherever I want. So first let's open up this one so that way we can make the downstage right one. And I guess that's the other part, is something I don't currently have, but I would love to, is the like all of downstage right, all of downstage left. Or sorry, all of the downstage, all of the mid stage, and stuff like that. I currently don't. I think it would be useful though. But we'll start here. So this is all the booths. So we'll create 2 booth ones. And we're going to make this one 180 by 440. Get rid of the blending. Get rid of the blending. And this will be 180 by 300. So that way that is where it belongs. And then this is the fun part, because now we go into warping. And we're just going to copy and paste, because it's the same projector. We can legitimately just copy and paste this data and know that it will be accurate. So that should be in the exact same spot that that one is. And then we go to here and do the same thing. Negative 564 and 204. So in theory, these are both locked in exactly the same. And now I can close this and open up DSL and do the same thing here. So that'll be the same two. So get rid of this. 180, 440. And get rid of that. 180, 300. So then we go into warping, grab this one, and do warping 726, 138. And then this one, 546, 208. I can already tell that this one is off because it's overlapping. So let's see how I did that. Which means it's probably this one's fault. Unless they do overlap and I am just crazy. No, they don't. So something else is going on here. So I have 184.40, 18300. That's the other part that I'm going to have to do with this, friends, is get these all layered up properly so that way they match up with the grid. Yeah, that's going to be a little tough. Okay, so go back into the warping. Yes, can you see how there's an overlap here? That's not what it's supposed to look like. So region A. Mm, 134, so that's correct. Oh, did I skinny it up? Is that what it is? -649 by 354. Oh, I'm going to have to touch every corner. Not ideal. -6. Oh!
Oh no!
Dark sleeps!
Our table! It's broken!
Federic Sleep says, Dusty, I miss you. I look forward to the school year.
I look forward to it as well. I am finally getting back into the swing of things and realizing just how much I put aside while I was on vacation. Which, again, kind of the point, kind of why you go on vacation. But I am just now getting into my emails and stuff and kind of getting caught up. I think that's just gonna have to do for now. I if I spend too much time with this, I'm gonna be upset. So I'm not gonna worry about all of this. But it does mean that I can show all grids. I went to the Upper Peninsula. I had like very little service the entire time. So as soon as I got service, as I was coming down, I saw the emails, all the texts, all the stuff that I missed, and I'm still trying to go through all of them. So that way I can figure things out. But yeah, so I'm just trying. Obviously, I just checked my phone for that period of time. Just trying to get everything kind of uh in order. So, but how are you, my friend? How is summer treating you? I think I might have to stop. My brain is starting to turn into mush. I'm working on this so much. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Obviously, don't worry about talking about it right now. Actually, I saw an email from you that I haven't read yet. What are the odds that that's the subject matter? Because I'm about to stop streaming. Okay, cool. I will do that off stream, but I'm about to stop, so okay. I'll do that, and then I'll get caught up a little bit, I assume. I'm really sorry, friend. I don't know what it is, but I'm really sorry. Okay. We will figure it out. We will tackle it. Also, thank you for the resub, my friend. I appreciate it as always. Where's my... There it is. My sub goal bar wasn't up for some reason. But yeah, my brain is starting to turn to mush, so I think I might wrap things up on stream and just get working on stuff on my own. Let's at least export this grid. So that way... where did it export it? Oh, there. Okay. So portal all... There we go. Portal all. Boom. And boom. So now, in theory, I should be able to hit go on this. And great. Okay. Okay. That is all I can do for now, my friends. We will save this. I'll probably keep working off stream, but for now, I think I got to call it because my social brain is turning into mush. So I'm going to have to stop what I'm doing. I do believe we have a friend who is streaming right now. Let's go double check that they actually are. Because I think it'd be pretty cool if we were able to raid over. So let's see if they're still streaming. Okay. Oh, I lost some frames there just trying to open that up. Hey, look at that. Looks like we do. Got a couple people in chat. So let's raid over there. We are going to be Oh, I think he might be done. We're gonna raid over there anyway. But anyway, friends, thank you all for tuning in. I'll read the email, my friend. I will see you very soon, and talk to you even sooner. But we're gonna jump over there. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Design and Conquer, my friends. I will see you at the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.